There's just a little bit of you in the back of your mind that's like, these shorts could be shorter. They could
Do you want to
be
Paul
shorter.
Mescal it?
They could be a little, you know?
Yeah.
It's very funny because what Riley was referring to and what you're referring to are such different vibes.
What's the point of living if you can't enjoy like 5 liters of carling on a daily basis?
Yeah, that's where the podcast should cut in.
Today, I would like to bring a subject to the table that I've deliberately not researched because I was just saving it up for myself and for Riley to Google. And it's a Mark Wahlberg.
I have too many tabs open. I need to force quit because I have 70 tabs open.
Okay, Library of Alexandria vibes. So it's an app that's backed by both Mark Wahlberg and Peter Thiel, and it's called Howl, and it's a for-profit prayer app, kind of like Netflix for prayer.
Oh yeah.
And
I've
so
seen it advertised.
and recently,
you gotta stay prayed up.
And recently, one of the people that they've hired to do their prayer advent calendar, which is a new prayer every day, is none other than no doubt's Gwen Stefani.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
She's getting back in touch with her Italian roots.
Wait, Wahlberg is it?
No,
Italian?
Gwen
Stefani, I would assume.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yes. Okay, sorry.
Wahlbergo.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Wahlbergo.
Yeah.
Is there any way for you to give
Chrome
us
is
more?
still opening.
Oh.
I need you to know how many tabs I was on a little bit of a. I decided I want to dress less terribly. We'll go back to the prayer thing as soon as it's just not opening.
I'm terrified as to what your solution for this is.
You
want to
wear Rick Owens?
No. I've decided. I've finally. I've accepted that I will never look good in Rick Owens stuff.
Okay, so
Except
what
for
are we looking
one
for?
jacket that I have, which is just a normal.
Well, no one does.
leather
To be
jacket.
fair, it's an unattainable aesthetic.
What is Rick? I don't even know.
Like
what Rick Owens
cyberpunk?
is.
Yeah, it's kind of like clothes that you can
What?
only look good in if you're like an emaciated Japanese twink, and even then you still look ridiculous.
Matrix.
The Matrix.
Yeah,
No, but
Matrix.
it's also sort of like it's very look. Rick Owens started his career as a pattern cutter in Los Angeles, so he's very. What he
And then he
does
became a
is-
hacker. Is that what you're saying?
Then he got this skateboard and started going everywhere on it.
what he does. So
Then he got into the mainframe.
he was a pattern cutter in Los Angeles,
Uh-huh.
and so when he decided to like break into his own like haute couture label,
Right.
what he did was
Via the mainframe.
he played with shapes and materials instead of like. So he would have like really elongated jacket. He like loves to do a weird silhouette. Does
So
Rick Owens?
it's high fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
you're
it's
not
like fucked
supposed
up proportions.
You're not supposed to buy and wear it if you're a normal person.
Well, yeah, I learned that.
Oh,
It's like-
baby. So what is it that you're going to wear now?
It's like buying a
I don't
painting
know
and
yet.
wearing it as a hat, isn't it?
Whoa. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Folding it into like a boat.
Yeah.
And then
So
wearing
this painting
it.
looks terrible on my back, or I carry it everywhere. Like, that's not what it's for.
I just want the women who are pegging me to have something to look at.
What a landscape, a relaxing landscape.
but like an
Or like a Picasso, like a sort of
Well, like,
horrifying
something-
face.
Yeah.
So well, you could do. What if you?
It's a
you could-
JW Turner. It's a big wave, and you not on it.
You could specify. You could
Cut that out.
communicate. Why?
Why? You think you're gonna upset JW Turner?
So
Yeah.
no, you could
I can't say that about the hay, Wayne. It's a beautiful landscape.
You could.
I don't know. I'm doing Olga as Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You want to suggest someone?
Why would you come on a painting? Who are these people? Anyway,
Look, it's everyone's really into the sublime curve. You can give an indication as to how you want the pegging to proceed by what painting you wear. Guernica, I want you to leave nothing on the table. Right? Maybe something like a little more.
Guernica.
I wanna be
Paintings as
devastated.
pegging instructions?
Yeah, and
Describing your own bumhole as Guernica is such a high level.
or maybe you could be like, "Hey, I'm going to do water lilies. Take it easy." Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You know,
Make
I
it
see.
blurry. I've come into my.
well, you wanted to. So you want this. I want this pegging to be sort of done in such a way that it suggests like motion. Or you could do the pointillist Georges. What was his name? The Parc de la Pont Neuf. You know the one I'm talking about. Georges Seurat. That was his name.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you could be like, I want it to be really staccato. Each stroke of the strap-on should be very distinct from each
Like
other
you're
stroke,
trying
but
to-
in a larger sense, they come together and form one image.
Yeah, this is surprisingly blue for Riley. I'm not gonna
Can
lie.
I see some of this fucking hacker clothes?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Go walking into work in the morning and be like, oh, the Francoists have had at my asshole again.
Have had that. Okay, well,
I'm testing out these new German strap-ons they've been given by Hitler.
I'm gonna try and describe this stuff. Rick Owens. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you guys were saying. Yeah.
Like, the thing is all of it's very beautifully made. The
Sure.
fabrics are incredible.
Sure, but if you wore it out, you'd look fucking mad because it's high fashion.
But the thing is, even if it did look good on you, it would be overdressing for most contexts, no?
Yeah, that's what I struggle with.
If you showed up, people would be like, "What have you?"
Yeah, even if
what
you
have
looked amazing in it, it's like,
"What are you planning?"
exactly.
Yeah. Are you? What,
Are you going to hack my mainframe?
Yeah.
I don't like my mainframe hacked, boy.
Are you somehow a kind of digital samurai?
Are we in the Matrix right now?
Yeah.
I like it because I just think it's really interesting.
I like looking at it.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mistook the fact that I love looking at it and thinking about how it fits together for that it might be good for me
You
to
were
wear.
turning yourself into a big Warhammer.
Yeah, yes, unfortunately.
This is the
so I used to have
autistic
those
boy to
shoes.
high fashion pipeline.
I had those shoes
There
for a
is
long
a-
time and I loved them.
There is a slight Warhammer vibe to some
Yeah.
of these outfits.
So what is it that you're going to wear now?
I don't know.
Okay.
I bought a
Barrel
new
on straps.
So I'm trying to right now all of my jeans. So I go through periods where my clothes will all be too loose because I'll like really be at the gym 5 days a week and then I'll lose weight. And so right now, like my jeans sit halfway down my ass.
That's not
you're
ideal.
going like 2010
Well,
indie boy.
Not intentionally. Not intentionally. I've decided I want to stop. I no longer wish to look distinctive. I just want to look fine.
That's the craziest thing anyone's
The
ever
phrase
said.
"I no longer wish to look distinctive" is such a funny.
It's also funny though because
Fucking
you
robot.
dress most of the time. You dress so normal.
Yeah, what do you say?
Like
What
you're
world-
wearing like a black t-shirt, and this is mostly what you wear, like trainers.
Yeah,
but this
what's
is a
wrong
very
with this?
unremarkable normal outfit. But it's just occasionally when you're like, oh, I've dressed up today. Then you'll put on something crazy, and then I'm like, where has this come from now?
I think
Yeah.
I've never seen the crazy.
Yeah, what's a crazy item that he owns?
Yeah.
Well, I used
The-
to
the
have
Rick
the
Owens
shoes.
trainers
The Rick Owens
were
shoes.
crazy.
Yeah, the Rick
Okay.
Owens Geo baskets. Like the tongue of the trainer goes halfway up your shin.
Yeah, you look like you're doing like Chernobyl cleanup or something. It's like
Yeah.
cricket.
cricket.
Cricket shoes.
Here, I'll show you.
The big shin
Yeah,
pants.
big shin
The
pants just built
corrugated.
in. Just
Yeah.
Here was these. I had these, and
Big
I used to
ol'
love those.
big old cricket
There.
shoes. Oh, I see. They're not that crazy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get from the picture though how high they come up the leg.
Uh-huh.
Like they're like the kind of like the tongue of the shoe is like touching like bottom of the knee. They're like very
Yeah,
very
that's
long.
Not that they're not that high. It's halfway up the
That's
shin.
crazy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it was stupid, and
It's
yeah.
giving metrosexual club promoter that's put you on the list and you're not sure if he's trying to fuck you or not.
So it's from
Every club promoter
yeah.
in
So
history.
I've abandoned all
Yeah.
of that. The only Rick Owens item I have left is one normal leather jacket.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just a regular leather jacket.
But wait,
that
hang
must
on.
be like Rick Owens is creep. Like they really bullied him into making one normal jacket.
Yeah, we need to sell
They're like-
something. This company needs to make money. We can't just
Yeah.
be selling items to Riley alone.
He's
Yeah,
like, no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
won't do it. Okay, if you put one weird tassel on it,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
do it.
Oh, no.
Just so it has some
So
integrity.
the sleeves were way too long, and I just had
Oh,
them
okay.
shortened to be normal.
Oh, so it's like not even intended to look normal.
So it like,
You
makes you
ruined
into
it.
like one of those like inflatable men they have out the front of a car dealership. Like you just got all this like foreskin sleeve at the end of your
I
arm.
used to just always push the sleeve up my arms a little
Oh,
bit, so
okay,
it looked
yeah.
like I had like a slightly rolled up sleeve leather jacket.
Uh-huh.
But then the problem is because it's a leather jacket, that would work for 45 seconds before the sleeves then fall down and cover most of my hand.
But what you're saying
Mm.
is that if this guy met you and saw the jacket, he'd be angry with you.
I don't think he'd be angry because he's like the other thing about him is he's a California guy who moved to Paris and now lives in he polished all the concrete in a car park and then put some like quite minimalist furniture in it, and that's his house. His house is fucking sweet.
It's so echoey though. You could record a fucking podcast in there. God, he's not dialing in for this.
Take an hour to stop hearing a fart.
Rick Owens constantly sounds like he's on that Nazi podcast.
What?
Oh,
So
the
that's-
Nazi podcast where anytime they said the name of a Jewish person, they'd put this like echo effect on it to like
What?
imply that they're like part of the conspiracy. Yeah, I'm not approving of this, just to be clear. I'm just explaining what it is.
Can't believe Nazis have got like little sound effects, man.
Oh, that's
It's very funny, isn't it? Objectively.
Bow, 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 bow.
You're listening to Hitler and the Gunch.
Exactly, yeah. So he lives in a gym.
no.
A gym with some futons.
But he looks so cool. The problem is I don't look like that. And I don't look like
What
that.
does he look like?
But he only looks cool because he's a fashion designer, right? Out of context, you think,
I think that
look at
guy
that,
looks sweet.
Look at that weird guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not cool.
Yeah, he does look really
But
cool.
the thing is that, like, imagine the coolest people
He
and then
loo-
put
he
them at a
looks-
bus stop at night,
Yeah.
and you
Iggy
go,
Pop
look at that
vibes.
weird guy.
He looks kind of like he plays bass in like, you know, one of those sort of like Blink-182 clone bands from the 2000s.
That's just like not what he looks like.
He looks like he used to skateboard.
He probably did.
But
Yeah,
he
he
can't
looks like
anymore.
Iggy Pop and Anthony Kiedis.
Yeah. Iggy
Yeah.
Pop vibes, definitely. Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree with that.
I accepted you know what it was? There was a brief period of time where I was dating someone who was like super like global level, doesn't know what a weekend is bourgeoisie. I wore GeoBaskets one day and she was like, "Oh, you're still wearing those."
Slammed by the global bourgeoisie.
This is the thing. Once you start buying that kind of stuff, you have committed. You're in there for forever.
Yeah.
What
Better
I
just
love
not
about
do
you
it.
is you make life decisions based on when someone said a mean thing to you one time. It's like the moment, like you can chart like changes in course in Riley's life by like times someone was mean to him in like a formative way, and it's like it's changed his opinion on shoes.
How quickly did you have
Well,
you?
that's the difference. There was that one, I'd say, spike of meanness.
Sure.
And then
Uh-huh.
there's been a low-level campaign of attrition being waged by my friend Chris for like 8 years.
to get you to stop buying long shoes.
Do you have Chroma up?
Oh yeah, sorry. It's
Yeah.
up now. I used it to Google some
Read
other
to
stuff.
me about Howl, please. I feel I am the only person out of the four of us who's interested, but
Because
I'm
Wahlberg's
plowing
been at
through
this
it.
for a while, right?
I thought
'Cause
Hallow
I've
was
seen
weird
the-
when I saw it first pop
Oh,
up.
it's Hallow, not
Hallow.
Hallow. I keep calling it Howl.
Howl is the Ginsberg.
Poem. I've read it. I've Googled it. I've read it. I didn't understand a thing,
Yeah.
but I know it's a thing.
Yeah, Hallow is.
Yeah, I named my prayer app after this poem by Ginsberg.
But it may. Oh God, it makes more. It makes
That
sense.
poem would have ended a little differently if I was there. Sorry.
It makes sense that it exists though, because if anything, it's weird how long it took
But
me
what
to see a
religion are
Christian.
they?
It's Christianity.
Well,
Just any.
The other thing about
yeah, I
like
think they're probably trying not to narrow it too
like
much.
it's technically for Catholics, but every American Catholic is just a Protestant, but like with more, ornamentation on them. Like they all believe the same stuff, which is they just worship America.
Yeah, I feel like American Catholics don't particularly care for the Pope.
American Catholics think the Pope is woke and gay and soy.
Speaking of, have you seen Conclave?
Not yet.
So good.
I love Ray Fiennes. Very excited to see Conclave.
I want to see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They should,
But
they should have a gay pope. That would be fun.
They've
I
had
they
it.
definitely
gay
had
Pope,
one.
honey.
God, has
Sorry.
they ever had
Honey,
one?
they should have a straight Pope. Sorry.
Let me be clear. I don't mean a pope who is gay. I mean like an explicitly like the gay pope. Like there's still the regular pope, and then there's also the gay pope. Like
Right,
there's
right.
there's a woke option,
So
like
you're saying that
oat
the-
milk latte. You can go for like I follow the gay pope.
Uh-huh.
He has slight doctrinal differences.
Again, what
Okay.
you're describing kind of is just what like Avignon in the 17th century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more gay.
It's a little, yeah,
Even more gay.
yeah.
The Avignon Pope, and he's got like a peg leg, a hook for a hand. He's polyamorous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So is Hallow anti-gay?
I think. I mean,
you're
Or
not
are
allowed
they-
on the app if you're gay.
Probably not explicitly.
Yes, but maybe
Yeah,
they're
no.
just not talking about it all together.
Like all of these people have roughly the same beliefs, right? Which is we believe in all of the unstated but common sense hierarchies that sort of you can kind of guess from watching an episode of Mad Men. And so are they anti-gay? I don't know. Maybe not. But are they generally like traditionalist in that way? Almost certainly.
Can we see how much
Yeah.
money they're making?
The
Sure.
Mad Men.
Okay, so
religion.
There's so many apps that are like, Buddhist meditation apps or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that it's taken this long to
So I have a friend.
Yeah.
do a Christian one.
They're
What
not
I-
very,
what I
very
find-
happy. The Christians.
What I find very funny is that I have a friend who knows one of the people who is the, I will be very vague about this, who knows the
Hitler.
CEO.
Let's just say.
That's too obvious. How about
Sorry,
Adolf H?
Yeah.
A prominent Argentinian. Let's just
knows
say.
Bear Grylls is on Hallow. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
guys. I'm still on Hallow.
He's who's the CEO of one of like the big meditation apps. He's a real fan of the nightclub The Box.
Very relaxing office.
Well, he's a stressful guy.
Yeah,
Big
The
fan of
Box is
nightclub The
stressful.
Yeah,
Box.
it makes sense that he would like the box. And then he's like, what is it? I headspacing it?
I'm not going to say which
Okay,
one.
we're not going to say which one.
But a big party animal is he.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was the guy because he thought of the idea of what if your phone could calm you down, and now he's like a billionaire.
To be fair, yeah, only a stressed person would think that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A calm person would have just been calm the whole time and not been thinking about how to be calm.
Yeah.
I've never.
Yeah, you know when you call your friends when you're in your K-hole and ask them to talk you down? What if that was an app?
Yeah.
And religious.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
need a
K-holo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
That's good.
Christ talked you out of your K-hole?
You gotta maintain your sense of reality. Okay, this isn't gonna go on forever. You can't remember your life before the K-hole, but you're gonna come out of it.
Focus on one object in the room and keep looking at it.
Mark Wahlberg talks you through your K-hole.
And it better not be anything queer.
Don't look at anything longer than it is narrow.
Of course you can fucking walk. You just gotta believe in yourself. Put one foot in front of the other.
There's got to be a Christ got me out of my K-hole kind of inspirational sermon online somewhere. You get it with booze and drugs.
Yeah. Jesus Christ was like, I've been there, man. I have. You know, when you're when you're at Boomtown, my father forsook me. I was in the K-hole.
When you're in what?
the Christ hole. When you're at Boomtown. It's the sort of festival that people who love ketamine go to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christ at Boomtown. When he was on his gap year, there's a year of Jesus' life that's unaccounted
The
for.
Rumspringer of Jesus.
Yeah.
Also, I need to say this. Gwen Stefani app called Hallow back girl. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
sorry, I
good.
simply had to. Okay, meet the Pope's tailor. This is the gay power bottom perfumer who makes the Pope's clothes.
The gay.
That sentence could be from any century.
perfumer.
Again,
yeah.
Okay.
Like the word power bottom is new, but what it refers to is not.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a homosexual and I design for the Pope and the gay community.
Great,
I
but
like that the Pope and the gay
This part of the
community
community.
is a fun sentence. Yeah.
but that's
Okay,
just-
Filippo Sorcinelli.
yeah.
They're called the Cardinals. They have a name.
And that's it. This is another guy making clothes I wish I could wear.
What, the Pope's clothes?
We just joined the church. What are you talking
The
about?
Pope has such drip.
To be fair, they are serving cunt and conclave. Conclave,
okay.
indeed.
Where do you get that big hat?
I just don't have the body for the big hat.
Hang on, though.
Unfortunately.
The Pope gets a rich girlfriend and she's like, hey, yo, you're still wearing.
Still wearing the vestments of Christ.
We stopped doing the
so
big hat
what
thing.
is... He gets really insecure about the papal throne.
Well, what is wrong with marriage shoes? They are the special Pope shoes.
Can't have any different ones.
Oh, you don't like my car? You don't like the big Perspex box on the back of my car? You had no problem with it when we were fucking inside it?
Well, the Pope shouldn't be fucking.
Yeah. When I had my halberd wielding guards ward off tourists so we could fuck in my Perspex
Jabbing
car.
them away.
Yeah.
Hang on, though.
Yes.
Earlier, you said,
Mm-hmm.
I no longer wish to look distinctive.
Yes.
And then you said,
Mm.
I just want to look unremarkable. Was that it?
Yes.
But surely the easiest way to do that is by not trying in any direction. Just t-shirt and jeans forever.
So,
no?
am I right in surmising that phrase has been rattling around
Yeah,
in your head
yeah,
since
yeah.
I said
Yes,
it? Okay,
yes,
good.
yes.
You need to go on the Pierre Novelli style plan.
T-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Here endeth the plan.
Yeah. Occasionally shorts.
Sure.
T-shirt and jeans with a jacket if it's cold.
Mhm.
But also, I imagine you're like me, which is that you never need a sweater and a jacket.
No.
The jacket is always enough by itself.
You're also suiting it up for the stage, though.
Yeah, but that's because if I don't do that, then people just get the wrong idea.
What do they think you are?
Well, exactly. They're too distracted by going, well, this is these vibes don't match quite.
Yeah.
Mm.
This person has a very formal vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're also the
I
only
get
person
that.
I ever see wear shorts and a coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. That's
in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot all the time in every building,
Mm-hmm.
but it will rain.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
I think
Yeah,
shorts
there's
and a coat can be a kind of like if you wear the the Patagonia baggy shorts.
There's a
that can
practicality
be sort
to
of
it.
an
It is-
elegant
Yeah.
look.
It is quite like military though. Shorts and raincoat. It has a certain.
So just
like,
hiking up those hills and stuff. like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't get cold anyway, but
There's just a
fucking-
little bit of you in the back of your mind that's like these shorts could be shorter. They could
Do you want
be
to Paul
shorter.
Mescal it?
They could be a
Oh.
little.
Yeah.
It's very funny because what Riley was
I
referring
know.
to and what you're referring to are such different vibes.
What was Riley referring to?
Riley,
The
Riley's
Rhodesian light infantry. And
Riley
their
Oh,
love of very
Jesus
short
refers to the
shorts.
fucking
Rhodesian light
Christ.
infantry again.
Yeah.
Which is not a sentence I thought I would say.
They were famous for their tiny little
mescaling
shorts.
it up before Paul Mescal.
Yes,
Were
yeah.
they running
Who-
away
who-
from
yeah.
women in the park?
Who's to say he's not paying homage?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very stealthily. Yeah.
Yeah.
And only if you know, like, hey, you can see one of his balls. That means he must be pretty pro-Rhodesian.
I know Olga will know about this. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, that Paul Mescal was supposedly like going on dates with women and then like having sex with them, staying over, whatever. And then he would like go out with them the next morning for like coffee or whatever and then just run away. Like that was his method for getting away
Apparently,
from
it's
them.
an urban legend, but it's an urban legend we all are willfully believing because it's a whimsical world to live
When
in.
you say run away,
Like physically.
no, sure.
Just start running.
But at what point in this process is the running? Like,
After
that was
the
a nice
yeah.
coffee. Bye. Like what? Like on the way to the coffee? What do you mean?
I think they're like walking through the park or something. Like
yeah,
maybe on
it's,
the way.
The park feels like like
Yeah,
the
on
location.
On the way to the coffee.
Potentially. I'm not sure. I'm a little hazy on the
I've never
details,
been
I'll be
clear on
Well,
honest.
given the fact that
Yeah.
it's definitely a lie, you can decide whenever.
But what I need to know the terms of the lie.
It's
'Cause
so
when I first
great
heard
if it's
they say-
true though. You're like people will think
Yeah.
this is a lie, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
do it.
Because when I first heard that urban myth, I thought run away like what in the night.
No,
From a mugger
broad
almost.
daylight.
Because surely Paul Mescal running would be captured by a paparazzo, right?
No, sure.
Well,
No, but
someone.
he's photographed running all the time.
Yeah.
It's part
But
of
I-
his brand.
He's
But
running
I'm
in
so-
his short little shorts
but
all
I'm-
the fucking time.
I'm not trying to figure out if it's real or not.
You're
I'm
trying to
happy it's
figure
not
out,
true.
You know what
But,
you're doing? You're trying to figure out the rules of the fictive world.
but also you can learn about what whoever made up this lie wanted
Mhm.
to say about Paul Mescal
Yeah.
by figuring out exactly what they thought their lie was.
I see. What you're doing is the popular culture version of looking at the map and the list of factions at the beginning of the book.
Yes, but also artistically. I'm trying to get the interpretation right for the original lie.
So give me the difference between running away before and after coffee.
Because running away after coffee is like just a mad way to leave a situation that has already ended.
Right.
'Cause
And
you
you're just
both
like,
had
I'm
your
awkward
coffee.
at goodbyes, right?
Yeah, I'm awkward at
Yeah.
goodbyes. Anyway, that was nice. Thank you. Bye.
and also
You go,
running
"Oh."
when you've just drunk a coffee. Risky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And also sends a message of like, I'm sorry, this coffee's going straight through me. I'd love to stay and chat, but
Yes,
I'm about to shit my
sure.
guts out.
That's
Yeah.
it. There's all sorts
There's
of
a
different.
bush over there, and I'm sprinting towards it.
Whereas sleeping with someone, waking up, saying "Let's go for coffee,"
Yeah.
and then right as you're walking towards coffee, going "Goo," and then just suddenly leaping.
That's a power play.
That's mad.
Mm.
I mean, that's fucking mad. That's so much weirder.
Well, the weirdest time to
Yeah,
leave would be
you're right.
So, how
after-
weird is this guy supposed to be?
The weirdest
Mm,
time to leave would be after you've ordered the coffees before you've paid.
Yes.
Leaving them
Oh,
with
but
the
that
bill.
makes sense because you don't want to pay for the coffee.
But he
That's the,
hasn't even had it.
of the three of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
That one's the one that makes sense the
So-
most.
This reminds me of when my ex insisted that we have a meeting to like discuss the end of our relationship. Like about a month after we'd broken up.
Which ex?
You can beep it.
Oh.
Take that out. And then we like she insisted that we like go for coffee, and then
Did
she
you
like
end up getting back together?
no, this was after that.
Okay.
and then she
Do you have someone there like a typist?
yeah, and this is
Taking
like
minutes.
I'm having like
Yeah.
a Proustian
Could you
reverie
read that
here.
back, please?
And then she handed me like an essay she'd written or like a long note. It was like 2 sides of A4 of like, this is what I want to say. And then she's like, read it.
Handwritten.
No, like typed.
Okay, yeah.
And, like printed. And then she's like, I in some ways printed is weirder. It's more
It's longer.
premeditated.
Yeah. Who owns a printer these days?
Yeah, you got to go and find. You
Go
got
to
to go into like
Kinko's?
Snappy Snaps and be like, can you print this out for
Yeah.
me?
But
Is that
don't
a-
read it.
On glossy.
Do not read it. And And then she's like, I want you to read it. And I'm like, what, like now? And then so we'd like ordered coffee or whatever. And she's like, yeah, now. She's like, yeah, I don't want to tell you. And I'm like, okay. So then I'm kind of like reading it. And I'm like, all I can do here is like be insouciant. Like there's no other way to do this. So I'm just like drinking my coffee, reading this like essay about what's wrong with me or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Well, you can't like start chuckling or gasp.
no, you have to
Or
just
correct
kind of
the grammar.
You
Oh
can't.
my God.
Wait a minute.
like a general reading a report in a 90s action film. Like, my God.
Or just
Get
start,
me the president.
or just start looking at the first letter of each sentence. Like, all right, what's the acrostic here? What are you really trying to tell me?
Yeah. What is the secret? Anyway, so I kind of read the thing, and then I think we probably had a conversation about it that lasted about 45 seconds, and then she stormed off, and then I was like, this is very funny because now I also just have to pay the bill. Like, I mean, this would be like the funniest way to get a free coffee out of
Very
someone.
strategic. All you have
Yeah.
to do is write an essay.
What was the
Yeah.
plan there? Was the idea that you would read it and the scales would fall from your eyes?
Yeah, to make you feel bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
So,
well, that's the question. Is it a I want to convince you that actually you should be with me, or is it a, like I just want to make you feel bad?
Yeah.
Because both are possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So I was
speaking
on-
from my own experience. I would want the person to feel bad.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
on
I
the
don't want
other.
you to feel good.
I was
be a
on
bit
the
of
other.
both.
I was on the other end of that once.
Oh, did you
Well,
write
you
an
wrote
essay
an
for
essay?
someone?
No,
Aw.
me and someone who I was dating wrote an essay that said that someone who was not happy we were together should stop being unhappy we were together.
Wait, so a third person?
Yes,
Well,
the two of us
Jesus.
as a couple wrote an
Yeah.
essay to a third person.
Shut up!
saying-
That's so sick. I
What?
need to know everything.
What?
I need
My
to know
story was just to get to
everything.
this. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
fine.
I'm so sorry, but
no,
that's
no. This
juicy.
is where the heat is. I agree.
Okay,
No,
so
I feel
you're
like this
in
is-
a couple.
this
Both
is-
of you are in love and like each other.
This is another one of those episodes, I think, where I just say some stuff from my past and realize that it's completely mad.
Okay.
This is an
Wait,
episode
wait,
that's
wait.
about me saying sentences like, I've decided I no longer want to look distinctive. I'd rather look unremarkable. But how that somehow factored into a wardrobe plan rather than giving up. Uh-huh. Yeah, again,
Okay.
okay, fine. I see what kind of episode this is. That's fine. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, you're in a couple.
Uh-huh.
You're happy with each other.
Yes, we're
Who's
very
this
in
third
love.
person?
So, this is number one. This is university.
Mhm.
I am 18 years old. Everyone involved is like it's 18, 19. So
Right.
that's the overall level of like brain development. No one's frontal lobe is fully developed.
Mhm.
Spiritual children, all of us.
Mhm.
And I long was sort of like had a real thing for this lady who I was with. And I always thought that it would never really happen because she was like, I was like, well, clearly that would never happen. And then it sort of did. And I was like, huh, crazy. And the person who was not happy about it was someone, because this is a university, everyone's dated. It's a small place,
Yeah.
everyone's dated each other and all this. So I'd previously been involved with this sort of third person who was also a very good friend of the person who I ended up with.
Mhm.
There's a triangle.
Okay.
A triangle. And so
How long was the break between the two?
Oh, very long.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like a year.
Was
So
this
it
the guy
wasn't
who
like you were
punched
cheating
you?
or anything.
No, this is not the guy. This is nothing to do with the guy who punched me.
Okay,
Okay.
pin on that because I want to hear that too. Okay, so basically what happens is you start dating the person you've been longing for, and the previous ex starts being weird about it. How does that manifest?
So both the other thing is both me and the person who I was with are very anxious people who love to plan.
Mhm. This is news to me.
And so we sort of anticipated that she might be miffed. And I believe that we got ourselves in such a tizzy that we wrote a document stating why.
Oh wait, so she did not even indicate anything. You preemptively wrote this.
I think she was unhappy, but it was like the beginning. We sort of anticipated.
That's crazy. To receive a letter that your ex is fucking, that's crazy. That's
Just to
crazy.
inform you.
To whom it may concern.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Like
what
a
on earth?
council notification about
Yeah,
work.
to like an occupant.
Wait, do you
I'm sure it
do you
will
have
be-
that letter?
Absolutely not.
I'm sure it will bring you no pleasure to hear that this man is currently doing big cums in my pussy. Of course, I'm sure it was with great regret that I must inform you.
That was the other thing, by the way,
Yes.
is that we ended up in a pregnancy scare, even though we always used condoms and they never broke
Okay.
because we're such anxious people. that one of us was
you're
just like,
kidding.
what if somehow you were to get pregnant? She was like, well, I'm Muslim. I can't get an abortion.
We're gonna write a letter to this baby right now.
And so
quick.
And so
More letters.
But Muslims can get abortions, no?
she was sort of against
Okay.
having an abortion.
Right.
And so there was no risk of a pregnancy, just us being like, well, we don't have a plan
I'd
as
say
to what
that's
to
a
do.
bad match. Two anxious people just like sort of lighting each other's fires. What are you doing sitting down writing that letter? What was the contents? How did you deliver it and how did she react?
The delivery was the weirdest part, I think.
Oh, please.
Okay, all right.
So the contents,
I've worked in a few writers' rooms, but I've never.
basically the contents were roughly along the lines of, you shouldn't be mad about this. Basically,
If I received that, I would be livid. I wouldn't care before, but the second the letter landed on my desk, I'd be so fucking angry.
well, yeah, of course, obviously it was a stupid idea. It was an insane idea.
Okay.
It was
Okay, so how did you give it to her?
So we saved it. This is so stupid. We emailed it to her, saved as a PDF.
like the way that like your bank or your lawyer emails you.
Yeah.
Like,
Please
there's
find
nothing in the
apology
body of the
attached.
email. Yeah.
Like,
Like a virus.
You need to put your password into. No, it was, and then I think she quite reasonably was like, "Why did you email it as a PDF? Were you afraid I was gonna like angrily delete it, like backspace?
What the
stuff?"
fuck?
Then I was like, "Yeah, I don't know.
So
why-
you can print it.
Yeah.
It's easier to print.
Yeah,
and
frame it and
retain
stick
the
it up.
formatting.
I don't know why we sent it as a PDF.
How long was
Oh
it?
god, that's
I don't remember that.
Oh.
It wasn't like it was like pages and pages.
Did one of you write and one of you dictate it and one of you type it, or did you swap it over?
was Grammarly on?
Pacing around the desk smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
It's almost there. It's like fucking Affleck and Damon just
Dear
like
spinster.
Yeah.
Now listen.
You're
We're
sitting there
bumping
with,
uglies now, and you're going to get over it, see?
we're from the 40s.
you're there
Yeah.
with a thesaurus looking for synonyms for butthurt.
Yeah. This is 2008, so adjust your references
Piles.
accordingly. Yeah. Anyway, the relationship didn't work out.
Yeah.
Even though you had a great writing partnership.
Yeah. And again, the relationship didn't work out because we couldn't agree, because I didn't want children and she did. We were 18, doesn't matter. And then
You
she
both
was,
you both clearly encouraged each other's anxieties. It would be like crank up in there, heartbeats through the fucking roof.
and then she was like, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. And then she was like, but if we do have kids, and I was like, I don't want to have kids. We're gonna have to raise them Muslim. And I was like, I don't want to be Muslim.
You're like, I
being
can
me.
agree to the kids being raised Muslim. I
Yeah,
just
but I don't
can't
wanna have
agree
them.
to
To them
this.
existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the compromise. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
great.
Great.
So
That worked.
Great.
Our hypothetical children will be Muslim.
it was
Good,
weird.
yeah.
It was someone I was like head over heels, like got a huge crush on for like 2 years, and then we got together, and then we just made each other mad with anxiety.
Hmm.
Did you?
Hmm.
Some things are better as fantasy, aren't they?
I guess so.
Mm.
Maybe did it seem like because you would say some insanely anxious shit and she'd be there like, yeah,
Or the
exactly
other-
right, and you'd think this person gets it.
Or the other way around. Yeah, so that's I'd forgotten about that until you mentioned the letter.
Yeah, that is nuts.
I forgot about how that one time me and wrote a PDF.
Yeah.
PTS
Let's write a
is-
PDF
Export
together.
as PDF.
Yeah. We were like, well, we better export it as a PDF, of course.
I hope she
Pierre,
has an
have you ever
Adobe
done
reader.
or been a receiving end or the giving end
of a
some-
PDF?
Of a PDF.
Not of this nature.
Please don't fuck letter.
A notice of fucking,
Yeah.
like from the council. When
Like
they-
fucking Martin Luther nailing it to our door.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nailing the laptop to the
Mhm.
door. No,
Yeah.
nothing so formal. Very formal.
No, I mean the classic is like the crazy text. I feel like you don't
Yeah.
really the big text.
The big
Well, there's
The
the
big
punch,
text.
of course. You mentioned the punch. You want to go into the punch?
The punch.
Oh no, I didn't get punched. You got punched.
You
Yeah.
got punched?
That's
Yeah,
why.
you said put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Remind me that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got too carried
Yeah,
away.
I got punched twice.
Wait, okay, we need to talk about that. But speaking of a long text, I have a really good one from a guy I never even had sex with. So if we,
Yeah, I knew you would have.
yeah,
Like
we could
a real
definitely.
library of
That
these,
shit was
yeah.
written, but with a thesaurus, big time. We
How
can
long
do a
was the
reading.
text?
I'll show it to you. But should we talk about punches first?
Yeah, we'll do the punches and then we'll circle back
We'll
to
circle back to the text.
I'm sure Olga has received many big texts, so I'm
Oh.
excited to hear about those.
Yeah.
So the punches. One of them was before a. So I still have. I bear him no ill will. We just haven't talked in a while.
Jesus Christ!
It's a shame you fall out of touch with people who punch you, you know?
Well,
You know, I waited, they're all hot and heavy, outside Weatherspoons, and then, 10 years later, you're like, God, I've never...
Send him a couple of PDFs.
Wonder what he's up
and,
to.
they calm right down.
No
punch
ill will.
direct to face.
Yeah.
Yeah, PDF. Yeah.
Is that thing about how criminal barristers talk about the standard job you get when you first start out as a PKA, a pints kebab and an affray? Like that.
Yeah.
So I was going to a university dance, like a ball, like a school ball. And my friend Daniel and I were drinking quite heavily, and we were it was at a bar, not it was at a cocktail bar nearby.
Yeah.
Just fucking basically downing Manhattans. They're great. They don't give you cancer.
We're drinking. We're just two rowdy young guys.
This feels like a
sinking few
deposition.
Manhattans.
Just downing Manhattans before our ball.
Just uni stuff.
Lads.
Teenager uni stuff. Yeah.
The cocktail my ex-girlfriend's mother used to drink.
Drinking heavily.
4 maraschino cherries each.
Yeah, just chugging down the syrup of the maraschino cherries.
Uh-huh.
And we just had a conversation that neither of us had ever gotten into a fight before, so we sort of decked each other in the face before we went to the ball.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
One of
okay.
those, one of those.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of had a fight in the way that there's that Russian slap fight thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they take turns.
Yeah.
You were
How
doing
was it?
turn-based combat.
Did you get black eyes?
I got like a big bruise. I got like this area.
Yeah.
I got a bruise.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
a big bruise.
You should
Where'd
see
you
the
get
other
him?
guy.
He had a similar bruise on the other side of his face.
Would you say
You should see the other guy. He looks just like me.
he looks like me, but we're chirally symmetrical.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have so many questions. First of all, did you feel like you both applied the equal amounts of force?
I think so.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Did it hurt to hit as well on your knuckles?
Not really.
Mm.
Did it feel the way that you wanted to feel, and did it look when you did it the way that you wanted to look, or were you like, this is not like the movies?
Oh, it resolved into a blur.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the
'Cause I think he did me first,
Mm.
and so I was like rattled when I.
Fight Club poster.
you weren't giving it your best.
That is crazy.
You were
That
like
is
punch drunk.
nuts.
Because I feel like the
See.
fun of punching
Oh,
someone
yeah.
in the face
There he is.
is to do with like dispersing how mad you are at the person. So doing
Yeah.
like a cold-blooded punch to the face would do nothing for me.
No gusto. Can you,
Yeah.
Pierre and Milo, have you ever gotten into fistfights?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but
Can I-
not
can-
recently.
Can I hear an abridged?
Like rugby, school rugby.
Okay.
You just
So
so
like a s-
fighting on the pitch and stuff. you
I
know,
see.
punching each other
So-
in the face in the ruck because
Mm.
you can't see.
Mm.
So there's a dirty player will punch underneath upwards into your sort of leaning over face.
And you won't even know who it was.
No, but then it doesn't matter after a point. There's a point where it becomes theoretical justice.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
color
yeah.
shirt they will wear. No, I've narrowed it down to 15 guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to punch each one of them in the face.
Or even just the 7 or 8 forwards involved in this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're doing like
yeah.
collective punishment stuff. Unless you tell me who it was, I'm going to punch everyone in the face.
That's what rugby is, really, is collective punishment.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
group of people.
What do you play in rugby?
Second row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was too long to do anything else.
Yeah. There's too much of you.
Mm.
I loved rugby in theory. I loved it in theory.
Like Rick
Yeah.
Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it is it's like I was really, really, really good because I'm very fast and I can basically run forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A fast man.
Yeah, I'm a
That's not why I was good.
No, you were
I'm a
just,
very slow man.
yeah, but it would just you'd be
But of great mass.
you'd be trailing just
Oh Lord, he coming.
Very hard to
Yeah.
push over.
just the entire team hanging on to some element of your clothing as you just stride and get
That was my golden age
Yeah.
of being basically the size I am now when everyone else was still 13. Just kind of like a cave troll. Just slamming through people.
Yeah, your raw talk, you're like Diesel. It's like
That was my golden, my athletic peak. 13 was slightly larger and much heavier than everyone else.
Held back in the 3rd grade for 7 years.
That kind of
That's
vibe.
the vibe.
Very much so.
Full
yes.
beard.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The only 3rd grader who has a parking space next to the teacher.
Saw them at the pub last night. Yeah.
What?
Oh, bloody, I've got school in the morning. No, I shouldn't have another one. I've got fractions at 9 a.m.
The wife will be.
Your own kid outperforming you.
Yeah.
If you fail your SATs again,
Yeah,
you need to get out to work. We've got 3 kids.
What fights did you get into?
Oh, so I went to school in Essex. Constant fights, relentless. Not even sports related. Just like that was just every day was like, yeah, you just might be in a fight. But not much since then. I hasten to add that was really limited to secondary school in Essex.
Yeah. And fights for almost no reason.
Yeah.
Very whimsical hair trigger fights. I would say the pinnacle for those is 14 to 16?
Yeah.
Feels like 17 and 18.
By that age, no. But I was also at a sixth form college, so I couldn't really have tested
when you say a hair trigger, is just you're sort of walking down the hall.
Sometimes just existing, Or like
I think it's that sort of hormone peak right before you start having sex, where you're like, where am I going to put all of this energy?
Yeah, right before. And then I remember one time it was my birthday. And the captain of the school rugby team, who he was Pierre Novelli in size, he was 6'2" at 10, that kind of guy. Although kind of more of a kind of long and thin, I would say, kind of guy, but still much bigger. I was 5'3" at this point, so he's much bigger than me. And he was like, "Oh, it's your birthday," and then just punched me really hard in the chest and just knocked me to the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
Happy
both
birthday.
13. Yeah. And then, but normally a birthday beat, you'd give it on the arm or I don't know. But yeah,
he's playing with the form.
yeah.
Normally on the arm, but he's decided solar plexus today.
And then
That's the thing. I would say that's the standard teenage male experience is completely arbitrary violence dished out by random.
But also, it's one of those things where you wouldn't respond to that. You'd just be like, "This is something I accept,"
just
or
missed
were you
out on
like,
it.
oh no, I responded every time.
Okay.
Which is
Yeah,
why
yeah,
it didn't happen to me as often as it happened to other people.
Okay.
Because I was in that weird where I was I was not popular, but also I was not weak enough to be that. There were certain kids in the school who I used to have a bit about this, the kids who accept that they should be bullied.
They say, yes,
Yep.
I'm Reek from fucking Game of Thrones. I'm an outcast.
Yeah. Kids who would just volunteer stuff to the bullies, and I'm like, why are you?
Oh, yeah.
They're informing on themselves.
Yeah. There was a boy in my school who once
Top Gear.
admitted that he'd watched.
Top Gear?
The Top Gear guy. Yeah, he admitted that he'd watched foot porn to one of the bullies, and it's why are you? You're one of those guys who's a husband and wife can't be convicted of the same crime. If I tell him, he can't use it.
If I marry the bully, he can't bully me.
Yeah.
Well, he thought he
basically.
saw the bully glance appreciatively at feet some earlier time, so he thought we'll be friends.
He's trying to find common ground.
But what is doing stand-up if not just getting ahead of the bully and making fun of yourself before they can?
Yeah, but it's got to be pretty good if it's about foot porn and you're fucking. How old was this guy?
Yeah. I mean, I was probably 15 maybe at this point.
No, that's bad.
Yeah. I think he later got involved with the far right. I remember he was posting some pretty interesting stuff on Facebook, and then I lost track of him. This was more than 10 years ago.
He's probably clustered around on the day of recording. There's a big farmer protest in Whitehall. He's probably clustered around the cenotaph right now.
But
Yeah,
as
maybe.
we've learned, you didn't experience any of the random violence.
Nothing. Zero.
Which is crazy to me.
No random violence. That's why I had to sort of have some non-random
A
violence.
ritual punch.
Yeah, I mean, you went to Montessori camp. You're fine.
You went to a school with no jocks. They took them off the top like fucking skimmed milk. No one with any kind of attitude or musculature is allowed in this school.
There's islands where there's no natural predators.
Yeah. You're all like dodos.
Flightless birds.
No, that's the thing. That was true for middle school. Yes, I admit that was true for middle school.
Okay.
However, for high school, I went back to just a regular high school. However, I think that I don't know if this is a Canadian thing.
That was the Dutch turning up for you. Was going to high school.
I don't know if this is a Canadian thing, but all of the people who were sort of stereotypical jocks were just quite nice. They were
That is a Canadian stereotype.
Yeah, well, you know what it was? You know how
Was it in a very nice part of town?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the other thing is you
Well,
remember.
in my capacity as captain of the school football team, I have to go after the younger and weaker kids. That's why I've been given this responsibility.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also say, Riley,
Yeah.
as weird and freaky as you are, you're you're very conventionally handsome. So I think you may be like in the periphery register as a jock.
You're like the butterflies that they look like they have eyes on the back.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
I don't-
blend in with the jocks.
Henry Cavill.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah, and
Warhammer
you're-
physiognomy.
and you're not small, so you,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Blending
What's interesting
in.
though is that I find that doesn't work for women. Like I went out with this girl when I was at sixth form and like a bit at university who was like really like stunningly beautiful and had been like bullied at school loads. But
Yeah.
in that kind of like way where I feel like
think-
good-looking men, they sort of don't
I think
get
that's
that.
also an Essex thing.
Yeah.
I think in an American school she'd have been in charge.
Yeah, maybe.
I think in the UK
yeah.
that's how it works.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't like hard. I don't think she was like hardcore bullied, but just like I was surprised she was bullied at all. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
No, yeah.
Well,
I was
Really
like, isn't that
interesting.
good? Isn't that?
well, so the
No, but it says, sometimes they're too pure. Sometimes very hot girls are too like pious, and then I'll destroy that shit. Sorry. I say this as a person who was bullied at school. What am I talking about?
Wait, and you're a comedian, you say? Yeah. I honestly, I would be so wrong-footed by your bowl of different sized condoms. that would feel like choosing the true grail. You know, like this is some kind of
carpenter's-
test. Like I don't know what the test is,
A
but
humble carpenter's Johnny.
wooden.
You have chosen wisely.
It's like the top half of a Russian nesting doll. It's like turned wood.
yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
Just a
No, he-
wooden
he-
hat doused in vinegar.
wouldn't have used some kind of bejeweled sheath. He would have used a simple lambskin.
Now lambskin would be luxury. That would be like, you know, like
Ooh,
you,
That's what it was at the time. It was a lamb intestine.
yeah.
You'd go to like one of those fancy tailors and they'd
Yeah.
be like
Could you get
something
a
for the weekend.
Rick Owens condom.
And you go to the restaurant and they're like,
Like
we
awkward
really do
shapes.
nose to tail.
Yeah.
And then they give you a condom as well at the end with the chocolates.
Petite.
Yeah, you say to the waiter, well, you didn't serve any entrails at all. And they, you just wait, sir. You just wait till you unroll this smelly, weird fucking.
I love a bit of
might I ask,
theatrics.
sir, what is the wrapped hog that you've got on the menu? Like, sir, we wondered when you would ask.
Even it's after dessert. When they made a lambskin condom
Petite
out of a bit of
4.6 there. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, thank you.
Are they like tying the top? How are they sealing the top? Are they tying it so it looks like a fucking Frankfurter?
I
The
think they
like
were
a sausage with a little
the
knot at the
lambskin
end.
condom.
No, but stitch wouldn't make sense
can't
because then
stitch.
it would seep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the condoms
would
worked
seep through the
very
stitch.
well. I
Cum
don't
would
think they
seep
worked
through the
well.
stitch.